Hey everybody, April here and welcome back for another furniture makeover. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I slayed this dresser. Yes, if you didn't know, you can slay furniture makeovers. So I did purchase this dresser from Goodwill. As always, this one was a little bit more pricey than what I usually pay for my dressers. This one was $35, but $35 to me, in my opinion, was still a great steal for this dresser, being that it was all solid wood. So this furniture makeover will be for my first client. She wanted a new entertainment center for her living room, and she also wanted a pop of color. So I'm going to share with you how I transformed this piece. So first things first, I'm going to be using a stripping gel, and I'm going to apply this to the top portion of the dresser. And what this gel is going to do is strip the top layers of the dresser. And once I've applied the gel, I'm just going to go in with my putty knife and scrape the top layers off. Now all this is doing is just removing like the top coat that may be on the dresser, any paint or anything like that that I want removed. So now I'm just going to apply some lacquer thinner to where I put my stripping gel. What the lacquer thinner is going to do is deactivate the gel so that it's no longer stripping my furniture. Alright, so this is what it looks like after I'm done stripping the top portion. And as you can see, the top portion of the dresser is stripped down to the bare wood and is much lighter than the rest of the furniture. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove my drawers and also remove the middle drawer slides, because there I'm going to place some new shelves. Alright, so for my shelves, all I did was go to my local hardware store and I got some wood cut to size. And what I'm doing here is just applying a generous amount of wood glue to the wood, and I am placing the wood where I want my shelves, and I'm going to secure it with some clamps and allow it to dry for at least 24 hours. And here I am again applying some wood glue, putting my wood into place and securing it down with some clamps. So now I'm going to apply some caulk to the edges of where I placed my shelves, just to give it a nice professional seamless look. And this is what it looks like after I've applied all of the caulk. And as you can see, there are no cracks and everything looks nice and uniform. Okay, so after I let the wood glue and the caulk dry for 24 hours, I'm just going to go in with my sander and lightly sand that area with 220 grit sandpaper, simply because I was a little messy with the caulk and I just want to clean that area up a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and continue to sand the top portion of the dresser where I used my stripper, just to make sure that I got rid of all of the top layers. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with a deglosser and wipe that all over the sides of the dresser and the front as well, simply because when I was sanding it, the top layer wasn't coming off. It had a different type of finish, and sanding wasn't doing the job. So I figured I'd just go in with a deglosser just to rough up the surface so I can go ahead and prime and paint. And I also use the deglosser on the drawers as well.
So
so now I'm going to go in with my tack cloth and wipe down the dresser just to remove all of the sand and dust from sanding. Okay, so here I'm just covering up the top portion of the dresser because I am going to stain that section, and just to make sure that I don't get any paint on the top portion while I'm painting the bottom half, I wanted to go ahead and cover that up. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright, so now it's time to prime, and as you can see, I did invest in a paint sprayer, and this is the first piece that I actually used my paint sprayer. So right here is my very first time using this paint sprayer, so don't judge me. I was, it was definitely a learning curve with trying to figure out how to use this paint sprayer, but nonetheless, I absolutely love it. It cuts down the labor time by more than half. So if you refinish furniture, I highly suggest that you invest in a paint sprayer. Alright, so after the first coat of primer dried, I went back in with my sander and I sanded it down with 220 grit sandpaper, and I applied 2 coats of primer. So after each coat, I sanded it down. Alright, so now I'm going to go in and begin to paint my shelves, and the color that I'm using is by BEHR, and the color is dried chive in a satin finish. And right here I'm just using a foam roller to apply the paint, simply because it was hard to get in those small areas with my paint spray, so I just went ahead with my roller, and the foam roller gives it a nice clean finish without leaving any streaks. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with my paint sprayer and spray the outer portions of the dresser. And I got my bag all up in the camera, my bad. As y'all can see, I was definitely focused with painting this dresser. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the real time of this footage. This is not sped up or anything. I just wanted to show y'all how fast you can paint an entire piece of furniture with a paint sprayer. I painted this dresser in under 2 to 3 minutes. So like I said, this definitely cuts down your labor time when using a paint sprayer. So if you are refinishing furniture as much as I do, I highly suggest that you invest in a paint sprayer. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with my small foam roller and do some minor touch-ups. Okay, so here I'm just drilling my doors back on. Alright, and now I'm just removing the paper so I can begin staining the top portion of the furniture. And before I start staining, I'm going to apply a pre-stain wood conditioner by Minwax. And what this is going to do is ensure that the stain applies on evenly and it doesn't leave any blotches or uneven areas. So I forgot to show you guys a close-up of the stain that I'm using, but I'm using a gel stain by General Finishes, and the color is Java, and this is a really nice chocolate stain. So with this stain, you have to work very fast. This is my first time ever using this gel stain, and as soon as you brush it on, you have to wipe it off. If you leave it on for too long, it will begin to dry and it just won't look good. So you have to work really fast with this product. So I'm just brushing the stain on and then quickly wiping it off, wiping off the excess. And I did apply about 3 coats of stain. And here I'm just applying some blue tape so that while I'm staining the edges of the top of the dresser, I'm not getting any stain or drips on the green painted section. Okay, so I'm going to apply some polyurethane clear coat in satin to the top of the dresser where I stained. And I'm using a sponge brush to apply that on. And I forgot to show you guys in the video, but I did apply a top coat to the bottom painted portion of the dresser. And for the top coat for that, I used polyacrylic. Alright, so now I'm going to apply my hardware to the doors and the drawers. And just to remind you, this is what the dresser looked like before. And this is what it looked like after. I sanded it, primed it, painted it, stripped and stained the top, added some new hardware, added some shelves, and it looks brand new. It looks nothing like what it looked like before, which is definitely the goal with your furniture makeovers. And as you can see, I also painted the inside drawers and inside of the doors just to give it a nice, clean, uniform, professional look. And here are the shelves. You would have never guessed that these used to be drawers. And that was my goal, to make it look very professional. And I think I really pulled this one off. And like I said, this was for my first client. She wanted a nice focal piece for her living room, a new entertainment center with a nice pop of color. And this is what it looks like on the inside with indoor lighting. I just put on some decorative pieces so you guys can see, what it looks like if it would be put to use. So yeah, I definitely love the stain color. It's a nice chocolate rich color to match this gorgeous olive green. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share with you guys how I slayed this furniture makeover. So if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and share with anyone that may find it helpful. And I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.